Dear fellow administrators, teachers, parents, and our beloved students, the Guidance and Counseling Services Office, headed by Ms. Cynthia Isidro, has organized a series of activities for this school year as we continue on a second straight year online education due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This event is the first in that particular series, entitled Dealing with Difficult Emotions. This is very timely as we all face the same situation of having to deal with what is now the new normal and living with the virus rather than waiting for it to be gone permanently. Our dear students, we have to be honest with you that we too have to face many obligations, challenges, and hindrances. Individually, as teachers, and as individual persons, and as members of our own family. But remember that despite all these difficulties, the whole CKSC community, your teachers, your school officials and personnel, your classmates, schoolmates and friends are here to help you in whatever stumbling blocks that you may encounter. I know situations could have been better if we could do or meet each other face to face. But rest assured, we are here. Just a message away through our social media or a phone call away. First and foremost, look beside you. Your pillar of support is your family. Count on them. They will always be there for you. They are the source of your strength. And most importantly, keep your faith that our Almighty Creator is watching over you and ensuring that everything will be okay. Today's speaker is truly an expert on the topic dealing with difficult emotions. She is an alumna, an educator, a former guidance counselor of our school, and a good friend. She will be properly introduced by one of our guidance counselors later. Again, listen attentively to what she has to say, and after her talk, our lines are open, our chat box. You can share your questions or make queries. I'm sure she will be very happy to answer them. Cicasians, have a wonderful webinar session today.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, our speaker for today is Dr. Jeanette Chua. So, she is an alumna of CKSC who graduated second in her class. Also graduated cum laude from St. Scholastica College with degrees in BS Psychology and BS Human Resources Development. Earned a silver medal for her master's degree in counseling at De La Salle University of the Philippines, has obtained her doctorate degree in marriage and family counseling from the Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary in USA, and has previously worked as a guidance counselor and a psychology teacher at Chiang College. She is a registered guidance counselor and has been into counseling for 30 years. Let me all present or give the floor to Dr. Jeanette Yu-Chua.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Agara. Good afternoon to all the administrators, supervisors, teachers, and students of Chiang College. It's good to be serving our alma mater this afternoon. So let me share my screen first. Okay. So our topic this afternoon is dealing with difficult emotions. What you can see right now in your screen would be a picture taken last April in Dr. Jose Rodriguez Memorial Hospital. You can see that the hospitals are full of COVID patients, okay? And all over the world, as of yesterday, we have 231 million cases and 4.74 million died. In the Philippines, we have 2.43 million with 37,405 deaths. So that's very alarming and very sad. And because of the lockdown, then you guys have to go online for your education. We lack connection with friends. There will be more family conflicts. And then there's the economic stress. And because of that, in the Philippines, there is a 57% rise in suicide rate last year. And then globally, there's also an increase in the number of anxiety cases. That's already 284 million globally. And when it comes to depression, 264 million have already been diagnosed with depression. So today, I'm going to give you 4 tips how we can manage it, whether it's depression, anxiety, anger, all the, let's say, difficult emotions. The first one would be express feelings in a healthy way. Do not hurt yourself. Please do not self-harm. Okay, like what Sir Jude said, if you feel that you need, the teachers will be there, our counselors will be there, your friends will be there. Okay, please do not hurt yourself. Do not keep your feelings bottled up. What you can do instead, if you feel like crying, just like these pictures, and like what Jesus did, John 11:35, that's the shortest verse in the Bible. But why was it written there? It's for you, for me, and also for, especially for all the men. We have the freedom to cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay not to be you. You don't need to always act strong. When, like for Jesus, his good friend Lazarus died. And when he saw the relatives of Lazarus and friends cry, of course he cried with them. So it's okay to cry. But of course, since if you're a male and you don't want the stigma, people might tease you about it, you can cry in the privacy of your bedroom or even in the bathroom. And when you cry, actually it cleanses our eyes and it makes us feel better. You can also write in your journal. It's like a diary. Okay, so I write in it. Let's say whether you're happy, oh, you saw your crush, I can write it there. Or you're so sad, or you're angry. You can write or express it all in your diary. Of course, you just keep the diary in a safe place so nobody can read it. If you're very artistic, you can compose a poem or a song. Look at this next slide. We're just that. That's Chevsky.
Teka lang, ano.
Okay, please unmute. So her video went viral when she received a golden buzzer after singing her original song, It's Okay, during her audition in America's Got Talent. Is her life okay? No. She's only 30, but cancer has spread to her liver, lungs, and spine, and she was only given a few months to live. Her husband of 5 years, Jeremy Claudio, divorced her. But her song, wow, she realized her dreams, by going to America's Got Talent, and her song hit the #2 spot in iTunes 2 days after her audition. And this is what she said: you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy. I only have 2% chance of survival, but 2% isn't zero. So look at how positive she is. And then she said her faith in Jesus serves as her anchor. And this is what she said, and I just quote, God doesn't take away my darkness. He adds light. He doesn't cure my loneliness. He comes near. So why do we believe that when we are in pain, it must mean that God is far? So right now, she said that she can't move on, to the America's Got Talent because her cancer is taking its toll on her body. So let's pray for her. Another is you can talk to someone you trust. This is my high school Chiang Kai-shek Barkada, and up to now, we still meet up. But since we can't meet up in a restaurant, we meet over Zoom. And we have a bigger barkada, including all the guys, and all the other girls, We graduated last 1980. Maybe some of you haven't even been born yet, but up to now we meet. Chiang Kai-shek has a very, very strong alumni association, and we also meet with the entire batch. So I hope that you would also do that, because indeed these are friends we can trust. And of course, I have my college friends, okay, like Marilyn from Saints Co. So I hope that wherever you are, maybe like when I was in Chiang Kai-shek, I also made friends, okay? The teachers, I taught psychology, okay? So good afternoon, Ma'am Maribel. Very nice to see for people who are younger than me, okay? They're still with Chiang Kai-shek and in the higher position. Sir Jude has been there for so long, and a lot more. You can also talk to your family members who are close to you, your relatives, teachers, or your counselor. Like Mama Sido, I really salute her. She's been my counselor when I was a high school student. So these are people who love Chiang Kai-shek very much. And these are the people, they not only love the school, they love the students. That's why they stay there for so long. Second point, do something you enjoy. If it's baking, it's cooking, then do it. For me, I'm not a good cook, or I'm not good in baking, then I just eat my comfort food. Some people just like to sleep. Some people would like to surf the net, play computer games. Nothing wrong with that. But you have to limit the time. Okay, please do not become addicted to the point that you don't study hard anymore, then you fail. Sayang, okay? So just balance. Or you may also play board games with your family members, play with the pets, you engage in sports, or tend the plants. Right now, this pandemic produced a lot of plantitos, plantitas, and they would tell, oh, when they see their plants blooming, they're so happy. Okay? Lee Do-young is a South Korean woman who had a serious fall, which left her paralyzed lower limbs, so she cannot walk. Take note, at the age of 19. And because of that, she became very, very depressed. She said that paracycling saved her life. That's a cycle, okay? Which means that you use your hands, okay, instead of using your feet in cycling. And wow, she trained hard. So she even won the silver medal at the 2016 Paralympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. She also took place in the Tokyo Paralympic Games. So this is what she said to all of us. Never give up. Think positively in any circumstance. Always be grateful and find happiness by following your dreams. Okay? So third point. First point is express feelings in a healthy way. Second is talk to trusted friends. And third, control your WABA. I'll explain later what's WABA. I'm sure many of you, especially all the NBA fans club, would know Stephen Curry. He's the greatest shooter in NBA history, and he's well known for his favorite verse, Philippians 4:19, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So much so, when Under Armour asked him to endorse their line of rubber shoes, he requested one thing. He said that, please put I can do all things. Of course, you can't put the entire verse, okay, in the rubber shoes. So you can see that it's in the rubber shoes. I can do all things. And that reminds him, kaya ko to. So in the same way, in this pandemic, kaya natin to. We can survive this, okay? He inspired, okay, this lovely young lady named Shelby Delaney. She's only 27 and an ICU nurse. She's a fans club, so that her wedding theme is the Golden State Warriors. And look at what she's wearing. She's not wearing the traditional high heel shoes. She's wearing a Curry 4S Snickers. But she said that she felt powerless and defeated when she was taking care of a lot of COVID patients because they're dying. So she said, one day she said, no, I cannot be depressed because if I'm depressed, how can I help my patients? So she put on her Stephen Curry jersey and she posted it on Facebook. Look at her. Wow. This post was seen by Stephen Curry. So Stephen Curry called her up and they used FaceTime and they talked. Wow. Imagine your idol calling you up. So Stephen said that I thank you and all the frontliners and I'm praying for all of you. And then she took the time to ask one question. She said, how do you gather that strength, positivity, and kindness that you always seem to have when surrounded by a lot of negativity? He honestly said, I don't always get it right, but the thing is to control what I can control. And this is what he's teaching. And he taught his two young girls. He said, control your WABA. Control what? Your words, your attitude, your behavior, and actions. So he said that to, in a way to show that they're also controlling their actions, they want to help, make people happy. They donated 1 million meals to underprivileged grade schoolers missing free lunches on campus. We all think that, oh, US is a superpower nation. Yeah, but there's a lot of people affected by the pandemic. A lot of people are hungry. So he helped. So look at this red circle. Inside the red circle are things we can control: our thoughts, our feelings, our attitude, words, actions, reactions, behaviors, opinions, wants. Outside the circle, we cannot control, like the pandemic. When will it end? We can't control that. Can you control what other people say? No, but I can control how I react. So please learn to control your WABA, words, attitude, behavior, actions. Let me give you some examples. Like, you have to train your thoughts, okay? Because if you think positive thoughts, you will feel happy, okay? And you will do things, okay, that will be productive. But when you think negative thoughts, look at this slide. Oh, I can't do it. I'm not worthy. I must be perfect. I must not make mistakes. But we're not perfect, right? I'm not good enough. Nobody loves me. If you think that these are your thoughts, how would you feel? You feel very down. You feel very depressed. You feel unwanted. And then what's going to be your behavior? Oh, you're not going to talk to anyone anymore. You're going to isolate. You just want to sleep. And worse, some people will commit suicide. That's why we're having this talk, so that you won't do all of those negative things. You start by what? Training your thoughts. Stop thinking negative thoughts. Replace it with positive ones. This is another negative thought. Oh, I can't. We have money problems. Oh no, it's impossible. I will fail. Or I'm brokenhearted. Or I'm angry. Okay. We know that EJ is an alumnus of Chiang Kai-shek, and we're very proud of him. Think about this. If EJ Obiena became very, very down after he did not win any medal in the Tokyo Olympics, he would say, oh, I'm a failure. I'm good for nothing. I'm not going to improve anymore. Wala na mangyari sa buhay niya. But look at what happened. Because he kept on striving, he went for training, and then he was able to break the record. Wow. And the Philippine government is going to award him 1.5 million. Wow. So he did not give up. So when you fail, you don't give up. And just like this, please stop complaining. Okay? Because if you keep on complaining, nothing's gonna happen. Like you said, oh, I can't go out, ang kawawa ko naman, bored na bored na ako sa bahay, or I can't visit my friends. It doesn't change the situation, but it makes you feel irritated and sad. Instead, I want it to be like this next picture. A positive attitude brings much gratitude. Think positive, be positive, speak positive, do it every day and make it a habit. Okay? So think of the positive things like, I'm still alive. I'm COVID-free. We have food to eat, water to drink, a roof over our heads. We have money for tuition. I can study online. There's Wi-Fi and gadgets, okay? Imagine if this happened with no gadgets. How are you guys going to study? How can you keep in touch with your friends? Mas mahirap, right? So let's be thankful for what we have now. And of course, thank God for our parents and our friends. Then we thank God, wow, is already here, okay? And if you think of all this, these positive things, you feel grateful and you feel happy. Another difficult emotion will be anger. But did you know that anger is usually a secondary emotion? It means that why are most people angry? It's because they've been hurt. Okay, but what they show people is I'm angry. It's not I'm hurt. I'm angry. And when we're angry, we want to hurt that person back. We lashed out, we raised face, okay, we slap them, we punch them, we try to destroy their things. But these are negative ways of expressing it. Instead, okay, learn to control your tongue. Do not say anything that you'll regret when you're angry. Do not curse people. Do not belittle them, calling them, oh, you're so stupid. Like, let's say your younger sibling is asking you, oh, Aji, can you help me? And then you're so stupid. When I was your age, I can do that. Please don't do that, okay? Learn to control what you say. Don't raise your voice. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. That's what Proverbs 15 says. And let me share with you my testimony. This is a very happy picture with me and my mom, taken when I got married at the age of 40. I got married very late. But before, when I was your age as a teenager, we don't have pictures like this because my mom was my mortal enemy. I don't like to be around her. I'm allergic to her because my mom has a very bad temper and because she would often, of course, scold me. So I try to avoid her. But just like you, how can you avoid your, let's say, your parents now or your sibling? You can't. We're now inside the house 24/7. Okay. So at that time, when my mom got sick at the age of 45, that left her half paralyzed. I don't have a choice. I'm the ati. I'm the only girl. I have two shorty. Of course, I'm the one who has to take care of my mom, like bathe her, change her clothes, whatever. But she would still get angry at me. I was 16. I was very young. She was only 45. She's also very young. So, so whenever she shouts at me, I'll get angry also. Like when she shouts, I'll shout louder. And of course, she'll shout louder. So it's going to be a shouting match. Or sometimes I'll be disrespectful. I'll just bang the door, walk out. These are all disrespectful ways, right? But at that time, I already knew God. I was a Christian. So I know it's wrong. So I said, Lord, I'm sorry. Please help me to love my mom more, to be more patient. So I made the decision. Whenever my mom gets angry, even while let's say, imagine I'm serving her, even when she gets angry, I made a decision. I'm just going to pray. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to say anything. Okay? And you know what? There was a change because I controlled myself. You know what happened? Because when my mom shouted, I did not shout back. So my tone is still same. I just keep quiet, right? So eventually she mellowed down. And it took, I'm not saying it's overnight. It's parang biglaan, ang bilis. No, it took time. It took time for me to change myself first and it improved the relationship. So now we have a happier relationship. Okay, so I hope that will be the same for you. Did you know that the Bible in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1 and 2 says, it echoes one of the 10 commandments. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother. Okay, let's be more appreciative of our parents. Our parents work very hard. Most Chinese parents or even Filipino parents, but I feel the Filipino parents are more expressive. The Chinese parents, they are not as expressive. Unless right now your parents are more modern. In my generation, no, my parents are not modern. They're the traditional ones. Like, you never heard them tell you that they love you. They don't hug you. No, hindi uso yan. But you know that they love you. How? The older Chinese, they show their love by working hard, by giving you the best education that they can give. Yun ang love for them. Papakainin kita, I'll do my best to give you a bright future. That's love for them. So please appreciate your parents. Even though maybe they're not as expressive, then ikaw na lang mag-express. You hug them, you say you love them, okay? Another way we can appreciate them and how we can control ourselves is study hard. These are difficult times. Even if you're rich, okay, or you're from the middle class, remember, the pandemic has affected our finances. A lot of people right now lost their jobs. Okay, some businesses, they're rich, but right now hotels are losing money. Travel agencies are losing money. Airlines are losing money. Jollibee closed down 100 plus stores. Jollibee na yan, ha? So please appreciate what your parents are doing for, even though maybe you're not very rich, okay, you have some financial problem. It's okay, let's help one another. Avoid fighting with your siblings because that adds stress inside the house. Okay, let's try to learn to live, okay, happily with one another. Help in household chores. Okay, help around. And then one way you can do, sometimes is we have to learn to speak the truth in love. That's found in Ephesians 4:15. Look at this. Okay, the husband and wife got angry. Okay, or imagine more that this is a sibling. Okay, Ati and Shoti. And the Ati said, you always ruin everything. That's X. Don't do that. Look at the face of the Shoti. The Shoti is angry also. Because she keeps on blaming him. But when you rephrase it, you tell the truth, but you say something like, when you do something like this, and take note that she's not shouting. When you do something like this, it hurts me. Look at Shorty's face. Shorty's face is not angry, but Shorty is listening. How can you do that? Sometimes we need to confront in love. You do it privately. Do not talk to somebody in public. Mapapahiya siya. Okay, even when there are other people around. You talk with that person one-on-one. And then you use sandwich that. Positive, negative, positive. Like two pieces of bread and one spam, right? So positive, negative, positive. So with me and my husband, we made an agreement. When we're angry at each other, we have a disagreement, we won't talk first. Why? Because we might say things that would hurt one another. So let's say after I calm down and I want to talk to him, sometimes I just message him using the sandwich stuff. You start with something like positive, like, I really appreciate you as my husband. You're very kind. You're loving. That's punta nga sa negative. When you're gonna go to the negative part, you don't use but. But, pero, because if you use but, you erase all the negative, all the positive things you said in front. Instead, you can say, and I would appreciate it. Let's say, if next time we're going out, please come on time. It has been several times that you have been late, and it's a waste of time. And then you go to the positive. Okay, but no matter what happens, I love you. Diba? So I was able to say what is one thing that I would request him to change. Take note, that's a request. If that person, whether that person changes or not, it takes time for people to change. Basta ang importante, nasabi mo ng maayos. That goes the same with your friends. There's some things you don't like about them. Sometimes you don't gossip about them. Just tell them directly. Okay? Because if you say it in a sandwich style, it doesn't feel like attacking. Then the person won't feel as defensive. And then you use I statement. I felt hurt when you do this. Ayun. You don't say, ikaw wala kang kwentang anak. Or you don't say that. Or, parang, I wish I was born to you. I don't like you as my parents. Please don't say that. It hurts. And even when you say you're sorry, when that person is very down, that will replay in their minds. Okay? And don't use never or always. Like, you're always like that. You're always so lazy. No, that person is not always lazy. Maybe most often, but not always, okay? And be specific. You tell them what really hurts you or what makes you angry. And let's say you're the one. Let's say you're the shorty. Your auntie told you that. Then, if it's your mistake, you apologize immediately. I'm sorry. Don't give excuses. Don't say, I'm sorry, but you made me angry. Wala na, away na naman yan. You just say, I'm sorry for hurting you. I'm sorry for disappointing you. Or you tell your parents, okay? And then, after that, we have to, of course, forgive one another. This is there's no perfect family. This is my parents, and I thank God that we were able to celebrate my parents' 50th anniversary in 2019. That was before the pandemic. Thank God talaga. It was 1 month before the pandemic, before all the lockdown. We were able to go to Taiwan, okay, because my two younger brothers were there. One of my brothers is married with 2 kids, and one of my the youngest is still single. So maliit lang yung family namin. But without forgiveness, this picture wouldn't have been possible. Because my parents, when I was still a teenager, they kept on fighting. I thought they're gonna have a divorce, but thank God they tried. Everybody, all of us tried to work things out. We're still together. Okay, so when you don't forgive someone, it's detrimental to your own mental, emotional, and physical health. So learn to forgive. Kung hindi, ikaw yung maghihirapan. Ikaw yung galit na galit when that person is sleeping so soundly. Okay? And you choose, take note, forgiveness is a choice. You choose to forgive even if that person hasn't apologized or that person hasn't changed. Next, I hope that the last point is ask help from God. God is still in control. Even though the pandemic is there, if people said, oh, is there really a God? There is. Why are we suffering? I'm sorry to say, but pain, suffering, and death only entered when Adam and Eve sinned. Okay? When God created the world, it was perfect. But the good news is, God said, I already gave you my one and only Son, Jesus Christ. And if you're going to believe in Him, I will forgive your sins. On earth, you will have a meaningful life. And when you leave this earth, you will go to heaven. That's the promise. And I hope that you will be able to check that out. And you can also pray, read the Bible, and trust God to see you through. If you're asking me during this pandemic, that really helped a lot, having faith in God, or else I might have gone crazy. And there's a nice verse sample, 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxieties on Him, okay? Because He cares for you. So that means whatever you're worried about, okay, take it to God. Let me end with 2 testimonies. My husband, Hans, tested positive last April 8th. At that time, when we were still waiting for the results, both of us got tested. We are not super worried. Why? Because we trusted God. And of course, this is my prayer. I said, Lord, I hope we won't be hospitalized. We're only middle class, okay? And then, but I said, Lord, in case you allowed it, I'm still okay because I know you will provide. But the worst thing that would have happened would be one of us or both of us would have died of COVID. One of my batchmates from Chiang Kai-shek, he died of COVID recently, 2 weeks ago. Okay. So it can happen to any of us. So I said, but I'm okay because I know where I'm going. It's not because I'm perfect, but it's because of what Jesus Christ did on the cross. I know I'm going to heaven. So, but thank God that, okay, only Hans tested positive. So as I was able to have the energy to take care of him, his oxygen level remained normal. So we don't need to go to the hospital. And we also thank God that he fully recovered after 5 weeks. My last testimony is this picture. I never had a picture, a graduation picture, together with my parents. Because when I was in high school, fourth year high school, dati wala pang junior high, senior high. Ang tawag doon, fourth year high school. I was 16. My mom had a stroke, right? I was about to graduate. That was the fourth year. We're having examinations. That's the fourth quarter. My mom suddenly had aneurysm. It's a stroke, and then it's also aneurysm, like may napakaugat. So she underwent 2 brain operations, and she was in coma for 1.5 months. So she was not able to go to my graduation. My dad didn't also go. When it comes to after 3 years, I graduated from Saints Co. My mom was still also in a wheelchair, so we didn't have a picture, okay? But there's a picture taken when we went to the United States, okay, for my graduation. But as I look back, I thank God because when I was young, I asked help from him and he helped us. My faith in God grew stronger. Take note, my mom was 45. Now they are 78 together with my dad. We've been taking care for a lot of years. I became more mature and more patient, more diligent because at that time, we have financial problems. So I thank God for Chiang Kai-shek alumni. Okay, my parents, take note, buong pamilya namin Chiang Kai-shek alumni. My parents, okay, me, my 2 brothers, all of us graduated from Chiang Kai. And my parents, classmates from Chiang Kai, helped when we were in need. So we're really indebted to them. Of course, people from the church, people from other groups, they also helped. But at that time, we lacked money. So I had to, besides helping in our store, I also had to tutor to earn extra money. But because of that, I became more compassionate. So even though up to now, I'm not a rich person, but I help. I help people with financial needs because people helped me before, then I'm paying it forward. And of course, the good thing is I became closer to my mom and my parents became Christians because of all of this. So my friends, dealing with difficult emotions, express feelings in a healthy way, do something you enjoy, control your WABA, ask help from God. But in case following all of this and you still feel very, very down, you can please take a shot of this, okay, a screenshot. These are the NCMH hotline. You can call 24/7. So let's say 3 a.m. nagising ka, you want to talk to someone. You can't talk to me, I'm sleeping. You can talk to your friends, they're sleeping. But you can talk to a counselor there, okay? It's free. Or you can call up, you can also take a picture of this, 700 Club Asia or the PACC. You can go to their website and make an appointment. These are free. Of course, we have our own very school, Mom Isidro and her team, okay? There are a lot of people who can help you. So please seek help. And lastly, to help more people during this pandemic, I started a YouTube channel. I talk about mental health and relationships, like is he or she the one? 7 things you must do to maintain friendships, how to get rid of negative thoughts, how to stop worrying, how to help someone who is brokenhearted, coping with depression, and a lot more. So you can just type Doc AJ Chua and you'll be able to see all our videos there. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing so you can go for our question and answer.
Okay, so I got a question here, Dr. Jeanette.
Yes, ma'am.
How to ask for help po without appearing to be a burden to the people around you?
Okay, that's a good question. One would be, it's okay to ask help, but do not become dependent. Okay, let's say you really need someone to talk to. Do not just call one person every night. Mapapagod yung tao eh. So what you can do is, you have 7 friends. You can call them one at a time. Let's say Monday, you call this person, Tuesday, another one. Okay. And I believe that once you're okay, you don't need to talk to them that often. Okay. That's one. So we can ask for help, but do not become too dependent. There are things you can do on your own, like you can't talk to someone, let's say, for 4 hours straight. Mapapagod din yung tao. So what you can do is you have to think of other things that you can do to make yourself feel better.
Okay, so I hope that will help you. Okay, so next question. So, ma'am, what is a good routine po to sleep early? Early po ako humihiga, pero late ako nakakatulog.
Okay. One would be in terms of problem sleeping. The suggestion will always be this. Even Doc Willie Ong would say that. Okay, the popular doc. He said that it's good for all of us to be able to go to bed at the same time. Okay, para masana yung katawan mo. Let's say, you said, okay, the curfew for you because you guys are young, and some of our parents, your parents would give you a curfew. Let's say 11. So if by 11 you have to do that every night, same time, para hindi ka mahirapan. And then maybe you have to think, why can't I sleep? Is it because I overthink? Some people overthink. Like, by the time they're gonna go to sleep, ang dami na iniisip. That person is too worried about so many things. Hindi tuloy siya nakakatulog. Or sometimes, let's say you have a project, you have and then suddenly, you have a lot of nice ideas. So what I would do is, beside my bed, okay, the cell phone would be there, or a paper and pencil. It's either I can write down whatever the ideas that come, I will just write it down so that I won't forget it tomorrow. Or you can type in your cell phone. But actually, some people would recommend that the last 30 minutes before you go to sleep, before 30 minutes before sleeping time, it's best not to open your cell phone, your iPad, your computer. Why? Because the blue light makes you feel awake. You would have a more difficult time sleeping. So you have to find out, why can't you sleep? Sometimes kasi then you have to learn, okay, I have to stop thinking kasi sayang oras, or if I'm afraid I might forget, I'll just write some of the ideas down and then I'll just go to sleep. And see if that would help. Some people would say that drinking a glass of hot milk or hot chocolate would also help them. Some people, they use air diffusers like lavender. Lavender is very calming, okay? Or chamomile, yung mga ganon. So you can try different. You can also go to Google, or go to YouTube. It said how to sleep faster. Or marami. There are a lot of talks about that, even from doctors.
Thank you, Doc. So here's another question po. What to do if our friend asks for help, but you also don't know what to do in their situation?
Okay. Sometimes, we don't know what to do, how to help that person, but just being there, just listening to them makes a lot of difference. So it's okay that you don't know what to say. Did you know that when I started counseling, it was during my high school days in Chiang Kai-shek. Take note, hindi ako professional counselor noon. But after I graduated, my friends would say, oh, Jeanette, I was the only one who took psychology. At that time, hindi uso ang psychology. Walang nagsa-psychology. Because the Chinese would say, you won't earn money that way. Parang ganon. So, friends would talk to me, okay, with their problems, like love life problems. But I've never had a boyfriend in high school. But because I listened to them, even though I don't know what to say, after listening, they feel very relieved. So sometimes, even if you don't know what to say to that person who calls you, just listen and then empathize. I made a video about that. You can check that out. How to validate someone's feelings by making them feel special. Yon. So I taught there how to listen with empathy. You listen without judging. Ayon. Nakakatulong yun. And of course, you listen attentively. So you can check that out to be able to improve your listening skills. Tapos, kasi nakinig ka, nag-empathize ka, you will be surprised that that person, after talking to you for, let's say, 15 to 30 minutes, they will say, oh, thank you, Juan. Ang laking tulong mo. And then you will say, I didn't even say anything. But because you listen, that helps a lot. Or sometimes, if I don't know, let's say, after listening, di ba, nagbabay na kami. And then, I can ask, let's say, you can chat or message one of our counselors, Mom, please don't mention the name of your friend. You just say, Mom, I have a friend who has this problem. What can I suggest to that person? Ayun. And then you can send back Ma'am Isidro's or that counselor's answer. I asked Ma'am Isidro, and without telling her your name, and this is what she said. Then you can also serve as a bridge.
Okay, thank you po. So here's another question po for you. What is your opinion to people who have depression but never want to fix it due to their symptom of fatigue, stress, and utter feeling of darkness?
Okay. Yeah, people who are, that you have to check my latest video, the one that came last week, because actually September is a suicide awareness month. Okay, it's international. That's why I came up with a video how to help somebody who is depressed. And this week, this afternoon, I'm releasing a video called how to help someone who does not want to be helped. Sometimes a person who is depressed, they really lack the energy to seek help. They don't have the energy. So what can we do? Then, let's say you're a friend, you know it. Kasi mapapansin mo, or if you're, let's say sometimes, before, when you message that person will chat with you. But now NR, no reaction. That person doesn't even want to reply. That person doesn't even want to take a bath. Oh, there's something wrong. So we can encourage that person to seek help. We try to cheer that person up. Let's say, yeah, that's my friend. And I know my friend loves milk tea. Then I will just send a milk tea over. Magpapadeliver ako. Ang dami naman Grab. Diba? Mga Grab food, Food Panda. And it's not that expensive. It's kaya ng baon. I'll use my baon to encourage a friend. Something like that. Basta just be there for them. Okay, let me clarify. Sometimes we use the word depression actually to really mean sad. We're very, very sad because something happened. But depression, yung totoong what we call clinical depression, is different. You will never know you have clinical depression without consulting a psychiatrist. Only a psychiatrist can diagnose you. Please do not self-diagnose. Like you go to Google, you take a test. Oh, and you look at all the symptoms. Ay, hala, depressed ako. I'm depressed. No, you might be very sad, but these are generalizations. There is a way for the psychiatrist to know if you're really depressed or not. And if you have been diagnosed with clinical, take note, this is what we call them, clinical depression, or let's say general anxiety disorder, GAD, or bipolar depression, that there's a very big probability the psychiatrist is gonna give you a prescription for medicine. You need to take psychiatric medicine. Why? There is imbalance in the brain. Nagkakaroon ng imbalance, that's why they give you medicine para you can help counter those negative thoughts. But if you ask me, if you can counter those negative thoughts with the help of, let's say, friends or the other tips I gave you a while ago with talking to our counselors, a mental health professional, that will be the best. Tapos, the last resort will be taking the medication. Okay? Kasi, why would I say last resort? That's because a lot of us can cope Can cope naman. And if you become too reliant on medicine, syempre, hindi rin ganun kaganda. Why? Let's say, if you take medication, it makes you sluggish. Mas mabagal ka lahat. Your energy level, of course, isn't that high. But if you need to, please take it. Walang problema with me. Do not be afraid to seek for help. Okay? Walang problema. But I'm just telling you that sometimes kasi the problem is the family cannot afford it. Mahal ang psychiatric medicine. A tablet costs 50 to 100 per piece. And normally, let's say, depending on the doctor, like isang kakilala ko, the psychiatrist gave her 3 medicines a day. Let's say, that's 500 pesos a day. That's already the minimum wage. So it depends. If your family can afford it and you really need to, why not? But if your family can't afford it, then you can call up those hotlines I gave you. You can talk to professionals without paying. Okay, but syempre, medication, you have to pay for that. Yeah.
We will be answering last 2 questions po.
Sure.
So here's the first question po. How can we deal with overthinking at any time? Overthinking affects our emotions and we might not focus on something.
Very good question. Okay, because actually all the questions you're asking, a lot of people ask me. That's why I already have a video for that. Please, you can watch that. How to overcome worrying, how to overcome ruminating. What's the difference of ruminating and worrying? Ruminating is a form of overthinking, but you are thinking about the past. Okay, that's ruminating. Like, I think I made a mistake when I did this. Oh, bakit ko nasabi yun? Ay, Pakagalit siya, no, when you think about what happened yesterday. Worrying naman is about the future. You're worried about the future. That's why, because of overthinking about the past, the future, you're no longer enjoying the present. Kawawa ka naman. So how do you learn how to stop all of this? One is to train your thoughts. It's training. And the good news is everybody can control the thoughts. Control your WABA. Kaya yan eh. So imagine that your thoughts are like the LRT trains. Di ba the LRT trains, ang bilis-bilis pag it pass in front of you? Remember, you have a choice to hop on that train or not. You always have a choice. So kunyari, ang daming thoughts, di ba? And just say, no, I have to focus. I'm studying right now for my exam. I'm doing my project, my paper. So you try to focus on what you're doing. Okay, that's one. Two, let's say you hop onto that thoughts. Ang bilis eh. Then you started fantasizing, daydreaming about your crush, worrying about the future, patay, hindi ka na nag-aral. Then, it's like you hop on a train, you can always hop down. Hop down the next station, like, okay, focus. Okay, I already used 2 hours to think about the past. No. And actually, one tip we give people would be, can you limit your overthinking to 15 minutes? 15 minutes ka lang, naka-time yan. Okay, start your time. Mag-timer ka, 15 minutes. After this thing, okay, stop thinking, time to work, time to study.
Thank you. So, last question po. How to help a friend na nai-invalidate at home during this pandemic?
Okay. One would be, ikaw yung mag-validate. Okay, like the one I told you about, like when you listen with empathy. What's empathy? You put yourself into their shoes. Okay, like, kunyari, how would I feel if my parents, my siblings don't validate my feeling? Siyempre, you feel bad, di ba? Ang problema, we cannot control the parents. You cannot talk to the parents naman eh, kasi ka-age mo lang yan eh. Magagalit yung parents sa'yo. Pakialamera ka pa. So what you can do instead is to encourage your friend. Validate their feelings. So what does validate means? Like when you empathize, when your friend said to you, "Oh, I'm so happy. My crush texted me yesterday." Then you'll be happy for them. Ayun ang validate. Pero ito yung sinabi niya, yung crush ko, nalaman-laman ko, may nililigawan ng iba or binasted ako, di ba? So, how does empathizing look like? Like, then you put a sad face. If you're just chatting, this sad face, sad emoji, or no, it feels bad, no? Then you just listen to whatever. So, syempre, at the end, encourage ko siya, like, yeah, it feels sad, no? Pero, okay lang. Parang crush lang naman eh, okay? So, or kunyari, nabasted siya. Okay, after you heal, then you can always court somebody else in the future. Something like that. Basta ma-encourage mo lang siya.
Thank you po, Dr. Jeanette, for answering the questions of our students.
Good afternoon, everyone. After listening to the inspiring talk from Dr. Jeanette Yu, I hope you have an outlet now for you to settle some of your mental concerns. Mental health is one of the biggest issues in recent times because of this pandemic that exacerbated the problem. I hope that you will take this issue seriously, and if ever there's anything you need, any help you need, not only can you talk to Miss Yu, Dr. Yu, you can also consult our guidance counselors headed by Mrs. Isidro and the other counselors. We are all ready to help you if ever there's any problem. We take this opportunity to thank Dr. Jeanette Yu-Chua for spending time with us and enabling the students to have a better appreciation of mental health concerns and issues that are common to today's generation. Hope this seminar will lessen future problems for all of us, and we look forward to seeing all of you for your physical class come 2022-2023 school year. Thank you.